Colonel James Harding is running for the Tennessee State Senate for District 27. After meeting him in person, I was inspired to go to Wright-Patterson Air Force Base to learn more about him. I'm Rachel Schulze, and I drove all the way here from Trenton, Tennessee to the National Air Force Museum to see the display for Colonel James Harding. This is Jim Harding when he was an Air Force pilot during the Vietnam War. When I think of Air Force pilots, I think of brave men flying fighter jets, constantly getting shot at with surface-to-air missiles and anti-aircraft guns. I imagine how scared that they would have felt on their bombing runs when they were most vulnerable. But Jim Harding was not one of those pilots, and he was vulnerable all the time. He didn't fly a jet. Instead, he flew a tiny, single-engine prop plane called the O-1 Bird Dog. It had a maximum speed of 130 miles per hour, it carried no weapons, it had no ejector seat, and he mostly flew only 200 to 300 feet above the trees, too low to parachute out if necessary, and he was constantly under fire by small arms. He was a forward air controller, and his job was to find enemy troops, mark their location, and direct other pilots to their targets. Colonel Harding once told me that if not for a special lining in the wing fuel tanks, he would have run out of fuel many times due to the bullet holes. Colonel Harding was shot twice while in the O-1. Can you imagine the courage it would take to get back in and fly it again? I'm at the Air Force Museum, and we're at the 100 Mission Wall, and this is Colonel Harding's display case. Below this picture it says the following. Harding was wounded 4 times during his service in Southeast Asia. One of those times, a bullet creased his right eyebrow, which is evident in this photograph. What it doesn't tell you is that the bullet actually went through his arm, went through his eyebrow, and then exited the top of the plane. Harding wore these artifacts on his O-1 missions over North Vietnam: a flight suit, his survival chaps, and Harding obtained this scarf while attached to Australian troops as a ground-air liaison officer. I just read something that I thought was very, very phenomenal and very interesting, so I'm going to read it for you now. Harding had just landed his O-1 at Dong Ha, which was right next to the DMZ, after flying a mission over North Vietnam. As he walked away from the aircraft, Harding slung his map bag over his left shoulder and held the strap with his left hand. Then, North Vietnamese artillery fire hit the base, and this fragment hit and broke his left hand, which is directly in front of his heart. This is Harding's unique 100 mission patch, which mentions the O-1. This is some video of the O-1 Bird Dog that we filmed at the Air Force Museum. As you can see, it's really small. To fly as many missions as Colonel Harding did over North Vietnam would take a lot of courage. Behind me is an A-1 Skyraider. It is very similar to the plane that Colonel Harding was flying when he was shot down over Laos. When Colonel Harding was shot down in the Skyraider, he had multiple shrapnel injuries, but he was able to be rescued. After the Vietnam War, Harding flew an A-7 Corsair II, which is a jet aircraft. This happened to be the same type of plane that my dad's unit used in the Air National Guard. This is talk show host Mike Slater introducing Colonel Harding at the 2010 Freedom Rally.
Colonel in the Air Force. Vietnam Service Medal, 8 Bronze Stars. National Defense Service Medal. Combat Readiness Medal, 2 Oak Leaf Clusters. United States Air Force Outstanding Unit Award with Valor, 4 Oak Leaf Clusters. Presidential Unit Citation, 4 Oak Leaf Clusters. Air Force Commendation Medal, 1 Oak Leaf Cluster. Air Medal with 39 Oak Leaf Clusters. Purple Heart, 3 Oak Leaf Clusters. Bronze Star with Valor, 1 Oak Leaf Cluster. Distinguished Flying Cross with 8 Oak Leaf Clusters. Legion of Merit with 1 Oak Leaf Cluster. Silver Star with 2 Oak Leaf Clusters. And the Air Force Cross. Clearly I can't do any more to introduce this man than to list off his incredible accomplishments. The Colonel, Jim Harding.
I can't tell you how much pleasure it gives me to be here talking to such a great group of people. and I'd like to quote from a song. It's when you're running down our country house, you're walking on the wrong side of me. I believe in our country. I've always believed in our country. And we are a Christian nation. When I hear people saying some of the things they say about our great country, and I've been all over the world and seen those thousands and thousands of crosses throughout Europe and Hawaii and the United States, I know the veterans and those that gave their lives deserve every bit of credit that we can give them. And I salute every veteran, and I thank you all for the service that you've rendered so freely to our great country. We are the greatest country in the world, and I believe it, and I know you believe it. The one thing that I have always felt is that this is, again, the greatest country in the world. But we are going to have to go back to the conservative values that made our country great. The United States was founded and built on conservative values. If we're going to successfully lead this great nation back to the eminence we once enjoyed, we must reinstate the principles of freedom and liberty. We must forget the petty political correctness that is destroying our great country from within. Let's really take back our country. Keep God in our lives and make our founding fathers proud. God bless you. God bless all you veterans. And God bless the United States of America.
The Colonel, Jim Harding.
My name is Rachel Schulze. I'm a Gibson County Patriot and a Slater Raider. And if I could vote, I would vote for my hero, Colonel Jim Harding, for Tennessee State Senate District 27. Thank you, and thanks for watching.